Hey guys, it's been a while since I've done one of these, so I thought I would do a little bit of an update. I've been doing a little bit of competing with CrossFit and then with Hyrox. So it's been pretty full on with training and dealing with injuries, setbacks and all the rest of it. And I thought that, I'm in my 50s, still competitive, and I thought there might be something in it for you if you're in your 40s or 50s and you're in one of these sort of age group categories in whatever your fitness field is, whether it's triathlons, running, cycling, swimming, CrossFit, or even Hyrox. So today I just wanted to speak about Hyrox and what it's like competing in my 50s. So I've just come back from Germany and France. And so I competed in Germany and then went to France just for a break afterwards. So when I was in Germany, I competed in Cologne at the latest Hyrox event in April. And to say it was a disastrous experience was a complete understatement. And mostly it is my own fault, and there's some lessons to be learned. So I thought I could share some of those lessons with you if you're interested. Because you could pretty much succeed by doing the opposite of all the things that I did. So firstly, let's get into it. So I arrived on a Wednesday night to compete on Thursday morning, and I knew where the venue was and I booked a hotel close by. So we were about 20 minutes walk away and we walked to the venue from the hotel, and I got outside a FIBO event and we had to go inside and ask. Don't really speak that much German, so it was tough finding out that in fact the Hyrox event was not at this particular venue, which was called FIBO, or there was a FIBO exposition, or what do you call those things in the I'll overdub this afterwards. So I couldn't find the place. But it turns out it was another event hall right nearby, another 2 minutes walk. So we went down the road and got to the venue, but it was separated between us and the venue. There was a set of train tracks, and we had to walk along the pavement to find a station or an underpass. We eventually found an underpass, found our way into the venue. And normally Hyrox goes from a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but because they'd had such a big response to this one, they put on a Thursday event as well. And there was also a FIBO exposition at this particular venue, which was the largest venue I've ever seen. So in terms of something like Excel here in London, I would say it has to be larger than that. And so there's tons of fitness people wandering around in fitness clothes. That's usually a good giveaway for a Hyrox event. Follow the people in the tracksuit or the fitness gear because they're undoubtedly going to the Hyrox event. That didn't work so much in his case. Anyway, we got inside and there was no signage up for Hyrox. Nobody knew where it was. And finding directions to the hall that it was actually taking place in was an absolute nightmare. So later, when we were walking out, we saw a signage had been put up and you could sort of figure out eventually where you're going. And all of this probably could have been avoided by having read the damn emails and seen that there was a plan of the exposition hall and where Hyrox was within that. I think it was hall number 10. Hall number 10 tells you just how big this thing was. It was gigantic. Anyway, so I eventually got both to the venue and then I made my way to try and find where Hyrox was within this massive venue, and eventually found it downstairs. I had literally 10 minutes to spare to register and get changed. I'd gone in my sort of traveling gear to, because I was walking to the venue. Anyway, I dumped all my clothes and got changed and made it to the tunnel for the start with 5 minutes to spare. literally the countdown had already started. So no time to warm up, no time for any briefing, no time to figure out where all of the stations were. And so I hear that you obviously got to run the kilometer and then you go do your fitness thing. But I didn't know how many laps or where the laps more specifically started from. And it was really confusing. So I hadn't had any of the briefing. I didn't really know where this was. Totally stupidly unprepared. And so I run around, I try and pick somebody that was in the crowd and, go into the inner events, the strength events after 3 laps, hoping that this guy knew what 3 laps was actually entailed. And there was a screen along the run which would tell you what lap you were on. And when I was on event number 2 or 3, and I see that I'd incurred a 5-minute penalty, and I had no idea what this penalty was for. And I thought that it was possibly because I was not running as many laps as I should be. And so then I end up running 4 laps and sometimes 3 laps, and it was totally confusing as to how many laps I was supposed to perform to actually make accrue that 1 kilometer before I went in and did the ski ergs or the farmer's carry or whatever it was. And I couldn't figure out where the laps started from. Anyway, long story short, I think some of my lap times were about 5.5 minutes, 5:20 or something like that per kilometer, which was comparable to a previous event that I'd done. And then 1 or 2 were about 8 minutes and 1 was even 11 minutes. So shocking, doing extra laps. The most stupidly unprepared person in the whole of Hyrox in Germany. And I wasn't able to ask anybody because nobody could speak English, and I can't speak German, so they weren't able to really help me. And one of the events, so there's 8 events. So you run a kilometer, then you do a ski erg, or you do a row or a farmer's carry or what have you, and you finish off with wall balls. Now, in my experience, because I've done one previous Hyrox, all of the sort of strength events were on the inside of the perimeter where you would do the running track. And so I knew where some of them were, but finding some of them, because I hadn't looked at the layout, was difficult. And the other part was that number 8, the last event, the wall balls, was not on the inside, but it was actually on the outside. And I thought somehow you'd be able to get in, or there'd be a tunnel, or I don't know, a bridge or whatever, but not so. In fact, I'd run on the inside expecting to find number 8 somewhere around, but to be told I had to go back out, run another half lap round to 8, which was on the outside. So I think that contributed to my 11-minute kilometer on the last round. So there was a catalogue of disastrous events which could have most of them avoided by me actually reading some of the emails properly, understanding where the venue was properly, and understanding the layout of the venue. So none of that was really, it was pretty much all down to organisation or lack of, which would have made my experience much, much better. So I think you could learn from my mistakes and just read emails. It is confusing sometimes, especially if you compete abroad. You get a lot of different emails, and it's hard. Sometimes they're in the languages. I've done one in Spain, obviously in Spanish, and this one, some of the emails came through in German, and trying to figure out, of the number of emails you get, which is the one with the crucial bits of information, can be quite confusing. So when you find that, save it or cut and paste the details from that email so that you don't lose it in the noise of all the other emails you get from the venue or from Hyrox subsequently. But one of the most embarrassing mistake I made was actually thinking that I was just fit enough. I just competed in CrossFit and I got all the way through to the semi-finals in my age group, and I was feeling super confident with myself and really proud and resting on my laurels and not actually training that hard. I thought I deserved a rest, which I probably did because my body was a little bit beaten up and some niggling injuries and things like that. And I'd also gotten a VO2 max test and lactate threshold test done about 3 or 4 weeks ago before the Hyrox event. And I got what I thought was a decent score for my VO2 max. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to be okay in this event. And so competing wise or training wise, I don't think I'd run anything further than 5 kilometers prior to doing the Hyrox, which I would suggest is a huge, stupid mistake. If you have the chance, obviously you can get loads of training plans that are available everywhere. Not to mention I'm a coach now, learning from my own stupid mistakes. I won't be taking things so lightly on the next time I compete. But running is obviously the main part of Hyrox, and so you need to get your running volume up. I can't believe I'm actually saying this on camera because I didn't do any of it. This is the cautionary tale, as it were, of all the things that I did you should not do when you go to a Hyrox. So anyway, I thought I would upload this video because it's hugely embarrassing for me. My score was 136. Don't know whether that includes the 5-minute penalty because I couldn't work it out on the score sheet that I got afterwards. It doesn't say there's a penalty. But nonetheless, it was a really disastrous Hyrox for me. And obviously, I'm going to have to do another one to redeem myself. But anyway, guys, I hope some of those mistakes that I've made might help you or help you avoid looking as foolish as I've just done. Anyway, guys, speak to you soon. Bye.